Hello, my name is LaShawn Yates, and welcome to my tutorial on how to create a basic flowchart using the free downloadable software from yEd. Before we get started, I'd like to bring your attention to the basic symbols that can be used to create a flowchart. This diagram can be found at smartsdraw.com. The first symbol here is the ovular symbol, or ellipse, and it represents the start or end of a flowchart. The next we have is an arrow, which is a connector that shows relationship between the representative shapes. Next we have a parallelogram, which represents input or output. Then a rectangle, which represents a process. And lastly, a diamond, which indicates a decision. We'll go over now to our free downloadable software from yEd. And what we're going to do to start a new flowchart is simply go up. We'll select File and then New. After we have that new blank screen, we're going to begin building our shapes. As we just mentioned, the start and end are going to both be ovular shapes. So in order to do that, we're going to take the ellipse, is a click and drag from the Shape Nodes menu, and we're going to stretch it to give us that nice ovular shape. Now what I like a lot about yEd is that it gives us these nice guidelines here, as you can see indicated by the light gray arrows. It lets us know when we've met the width and height requirements that are represented with the previous shapes. So as you see here, we're at height, but we've got a little ways to stretch before we get to width, and there we are. Let's see here. And that would be a match right there. So we don't need that one, so we're going to go ahead and hit delete to delete that. You'll notice our arrow is here, and it's going to go down to our parallelogram, which we can find also in the Shape Nodes menu. Simple click and drag. You're also able to click on a shape, simply copy and paste it with the Control-C, Control-V, and that will basically guarantee that you have the same shape sizes. The diamond, again, is located here in the shape nodes, and we are able to start arrows by clicking within an existing shape and dragging it out. If we're going to want to make sure that that arrow goes downward, we can simply continue on by releasing your click. Click again to change direction, so on and so forth. Okay, we're not going to need that, so what we can do is hit escape, get rid of all of that. That's how we draw the arrows, and the arrows are really good to snap to the next shape and stop just at the border. In order to enter text, we click on the shape and we hit enter. That's how we get to our text and are able to modify that. We can type anything we want, as I had start here. If you have several words and we want to go ahead and get to the next line, hold shift and hit return to get to your next line. Start was all we needed. So after you type in all of your words, you can hit enter. It will automatically center it for you. You're able to change some of the details in relationship to the text by clicking on it. And over here in the Properties View menu, you'll be able to see the actual color. Sorry, that's for the shape. Let's get us to the text. There we are. The color of our text. As well as our font size, which is editable here. You see, we can go to 40. That's pretty big. And we're going to take it back down to 20. That's a nice size. Make sure the font is the same generally for all of your shapes. I use the click and drag arrow method to get to the yes here, and over here on the no side. Now, in order to actually add text to the arrows, you're going to click the arrow, much like you did the shape, and hit enter again. That gives us a text line where we can enter text. And once that's made, we can actually click it and drag it to wherever we want it to be. There are those handy guidelines again to let us know when we're in the center of the arrow. And we're able to modify the actual text background so that the text is more legible and you're not able to see the arrow underneath. We can also modify the color of the font, and you can modify the border. So we're going to delete that because, again, that's not necessary. And our flowchart basically lets us know where we start. We're going to input the total test score. Move on. If the total of the score is greater than 800, then yes, you have been admitted to the school. If the total is not greater than 800, then you have not been admitted to the school. And then that is the end to answering the question, have I been admitted into the school? I hope that you enjoy this brief tutorial. Thank you for tuning in.